If you've been debating whether or not to get any of the new Resident Evil survivors, then this is the video for you. Just keep watching. Hey there guys, my name is EarthToLydia and welcome back to another Should You Buy episode. For those of you that are new to the series, what we do here is we go over each of the characters in the game and determine what factors make them right for you if you cannot afford to just go and get every DLC. Today, as mentioned in the intro, we are going to be going over Jill Valentine and Leon Kennedy from the Resident Evil chapter. How this is going to work is I'm going to be going over their character models, their teachable perks, any cosmetics, how they can be purchased, and what kind of playstyle will see the most benefit from them. But before we get into it, if you guys don't know, I make Dead by Daylight content live on Twitch 5 days a week at twitch.tv/EarthToLydia. One of my goals for 2021 is to hit 10,000 followers over there, so if you'd go over, drop a follow, and come to a live stream, that would really mean a lot to me. Also, if you enjoy these kinds of videos, let me know in the comments. I am thinking about doing my next one on Nemesis. Yes, another killer one. Anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, we're going to be going over how you can purchase these guys. As these are licensed characters, they are not available to be bought with free in-game currency, meaning that you will have to use real-world money to buy these characters, whether that's through Auric Cells or the whole Resident Evil DLC. Also, with licensed characters, we haven't seen that many cosmetics on launch, but as far as they go, the ones that we have seen are quite impressive. Both Jill and Leon have legendary outfits. Jill has one that turns her into Claire Redfield, and Leon has one that turns him into Chris Redfield. They also have one full set each for the base character as well. Now let's start with Jill's character model. Jill is a little bit easier to hear when injured than other survivors in the game, in particular other female survivors, making her a little bit easier to locate when injured. As with other female survivors though, she has a petite character model. As for Leon, he's more on the average side as far as his screams go. I've heard a few people say that he stands out more than other male characters, although personally, my personal opinion is that he's not really quieter or louder, quite middle of the road. And as far as his character model goes, he does have a slightly bulkier one. He's obviously wearing his S.T.A.R.S uniform, which adds a bit of bulk to his overall model. However, this is a very dark toned suit, so long as you're not trying to hide in the bulrushes of the swamp, then you might have a really good chance at blending in. Now let's move on to teachable perks. First of all, we are going to have Jill. At level 30 in Jill's Blood Web, we unlock Counterforce. Counterforce allows you to cleanse totems 20% faster, and you gain a stackable 20% per cleansed totem. After cleansing a totem, the aura of the totem furthest from you is revealed for up to 4 seconds depending on the perk's tier. This is an incredibly strong totem perk. I've messed around with it with small game, and I would go as far as to say that this is probably the best totem perk in the game now, especially since the Nadophobia's change, which makes you slower on totem cleansing. This also has synergy with Detective's Hunch. It just depends on which perk that you would rather run personally. At level 35, we unlock Resurgence. After being unhooked, you will instantly gain up to 50% of your healing progress. Another good perk if the killer is the type to come back to the hook. This also, of course, has great synergy with perks like Solidarity. So say you get unhooked, you already have half of your health state healed, the person unhooking you is injured. If you have a medkit or botany knowledge, you can heal them, and then that will completely heal you the rest of the way with Solidarity. So far, this has made quite a bit of a difference in my games, and whether or not I can fully heal before I'm confronted by the killer again. At level 40, we are going to unlock Blast Mine. After repairing a generator for a total of 66%, Blast Mine will activate. So after repairing a generator for at least 3 seconds, you can press the active ability button to install a trap, which will stay active for up to 45 seconds. The aura of the trap generators are revealed to all survivors in yellow, and a generator can only be affected by one instance of Blast Mine at a time. So far, out of all of the perks, I would say that Blast Mine has been the most difficult for me to pull off. Not that it is a particularly hard perk to understand, it just can be quite situational and depends on how the killer plays. You'll probably see more use out of this at lower ranks, where I know killers tend to kick gens quite a lot, but at higher ranks there's less chance of that happening unless they're running perks like Pop Goes the Weasel. And if the killer's running Ruin, then they can't kick the gen at all anyway, so this would be a waste. All in all, what do I think about Jill's playstyle? Jill is suited to players that are quite aggressive in their in-game tactics. As we mentioned earlier with Counterforce, you're going to get the most benefit out of this if you're deft at finding totems early on in the game and creating that snowball effect. Also, you need a little bit of an understanding of where other totems can spawn as well to get the full benefit out of this. Resurgence is going to help anybody really. Also with Blastmine, you're going to want to be able to commit to gens pretty much in the killer's face. Survivors that are really pressuring gens as the killer's near are probably going to make them more likely to kick that gen. Although, as I said earlier, you could also probably get a good value out of this at lower ranks as well. Now on to Leon. At level 30, we unlock Bite the Bullet. Bite the Bullet is an excellent perk for beginners and is kind of like the technician for healing. So you will no longer make any sounds when healing, including grunts of pain, and failing a healing skill check does not trigger a loud noise notification and only regresses by a maximum of 3%. This is an excellent learning tool, especially if you're a bit more timid about going in and healing your teammates, or you're not confident with skill checks. This perk reduces the penalty that you get and allows you to stick the heal without risking giving your location away to the killer. At level 35, we unlock Flashbang. After repairing a generator for a minimum of 50%, Flashbang will activate. If you enter a locker and use the active ability button, this will create a flash grenade. It's worth noting that this won't work if you have another item in your hand. Then when you leave the locker, you'll have this new item. Much like a firecracker, a flash grenade can be detonated to blind the killer. This perk is at completely the opposite end of the spectrum. This has great synergy with teachables from other characters, such as Head On from Jane and Quick and Quiet from Meg, but the flashbang timing is not immediate. This is something that you're really going to have to get to grips with to understand when the flash grenade will detonate, and also there is a risk that you could blind other survivors or yourself and not the killer. While this perk can have a great payoff, if you're not that well experienced with the game, it is so easy to not get any value out of this. And at level 40, we have Rookie Spirit. While repairing a generator, complete a minimum of 3 great skill checks or good skill checks to activate Rookie Spirit. And then that will be activated for the remainder of the trial. Once active, the auras of any regressing generators are revealed to you, which should allow you to swoop in and make some progress while another survivor takes the chase. And this, again, I think is kind of an intermediate level one. So you want to be confident enough to go in and work on a gen if you know that it's regressing. And you also need to have enough map awareness to know that the killer isn't right by the gen and that somebody else is occupying them. If you're running this at extremely low ranks, like grey ranks, the chances are you might be a little bit too timid to really know what to do with this perk. But I wouldn't say it takes so much skill that it should be reserved only for advanced players. As mentioned earlier, you only need 3, 4, or 5 good or great skill checks to get this perk active for the entire game. But if you want a perk to help you get a little bit more understanding or map awareness, then this might be a good one for that. So what kind of playstyle is Leon suited towards? Truth is, he will probably benefit everybody at all stages. As we've mentioned, there's a beginner level perk, there's an intermediate level, and then there's a more advanced one as well. So regardless of your skill and experience, you will probably find something that you can have fun with in Leon's kit. But as always, this is all just in my opinion, and I would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. That will be all for me from this one video, but let me know, do you like these kind of videos? If you do, be sure to subscribe for more content like this in the future. I'm also going to be leaving the link to all of my social medias in the description, including my Twitch, which I mentioned earlier in the video, and my Discord server, and I'm trying to go for Discord partnership this year, so the more members that we have, the better, if anybody would like to join that. Also, let me know who you would like to see a video on next. As I mentioned earlier, I'm thinking about doing one on Nemesis, but that is entirely up to you guys. As always, I want to thank you all for making it this far into the video, and until next time, take care, guys.